Climate change has turned rice, wheat, and corn into reluctant celebrities on the global stage. Except instead of paparazzi, they're dealing with heat waves, droughts, floods, and erratic rainfall patterns. Each cereal is reacting to these environmental plot twists in its own way, and the story is part drama, part comedy, and part inspiring tale of resilience. Rice, the water-loving diva of the trio, is particularly sensitive to climate swings. Its traditional paddies thrive in flooded fields, but rising temperatures and unpredictable monsoons make it sweat, wilt, and occasionally mutter under its husk, "I need my spa treatment or I won't perform." Too little water and rice struggles, too much and methane emissions spike. Yet rice is adaptable, giving scientists and farmers a chance to breed resilient varieties that can survive drought or submersion. Imagine rice in a yoga pose, meditating through floodwaters while secretly plotting how to keep producing fluffy grains despite the chaos. Wheat is the drama-free, stoic sibling, accustomed to temperate climates and steady growth. But even wheat is feeling the heat, literally. Rising temperatures and unseasonable droughts can reduce yields, stressing farmers who rely on this dependable grain. Wheat's humor comes from its quiet persistence. While rice panics about water and corn complains about nutrients, wheat just stands tall, waving its golden stalks and saying, "I may shrink a little, but I'll still give you bread." Breeding programs and smarter farming practices like heat-tolerant strains and drought-resistant varieties are giving wheat a modern armor, turning it into a resilient superhero that keeps the global food system ticking. Corn, the overachiever, has its own climate grievances. It demands both sun and nutrients to perform at peak levels, and unpredictable weather can disrupt its growth like a diva whose stage is suddenly flooded with chaos. Corn's kernels are technically golden trophies, and it wants to produce as many as possible, but climate stress can make it sulk, produce uneven ears, or even fall victim to pests that thrive in warmer conditions. Yet corn's versatility and the ingenuity of modern agriculture mean that farmers are experimenting with crop rotation, irrigation, and genetically improved varieties to help it cope. Corn is like a determined athlete on a roller coaster of environmental challenges, keeping the show going even when the weather refuses to cooperate. The funny side of all this is imagining these grains sitting in a climate change support group. Rice wipes its brow and says, "I can't handle this heat." Wheat calmly replies, "I've seen worse, I'll adapt." Corn tosses a kernel in the air and jokes, "I'll survive as long as someone feeds me fertilizer." It's a comedic tableau that also reflects the serious reality. These cereals are vital to human survival, and their response to climate challenges will determine global food security. The positive takeaway is that humans are stepping up to help these grains adapt. Scientists are breeding drought-tolerant rice, heat-resistant wheat, and climate-smart corn, often with a dash of humor in their experimental names and traits. New irrigation methods, sustainable fertilization, and predictive planting schedules are all ways the cereal world is being future-proofed. Even better, these adaptations often improve resilience to pests and diseases, which adds a bonus layer of protection to global food supplies. In other words, climate change may be the challenge, but it's also driving innovation that will make cereals even stronger and more productive in the long run. Ultimately, climate change impacts are like a dramatic reality show for the world's most important cereals. Rice, wheat, and corn are coping, adapting, and even thriving in small ways, teaching humanity lessons in resilience, creativity, and problem-solving. They remind us that food isn't just about calories. It's about adaptation, ingenuity, and humor in the face of adversity. And while their fields may face droughts, floods, or heat waves, these grains continue to deliver meals, snacks, and energy, proving that even under pressure, they can perform spectacularly, sometimes with a little flair, sometimes with quiet dignity, and occasionally with a comedic sigh that reminds us just how human our reliance on them has become.